everyone. It's me, Captain Logan, and joining me tonight is Austin, the Day Ghost. And tonight, Austin and I, it's time for another exciting edition of Watching People Watching Stuff. And tonight, Austin and I are watching the brand new, just released an hour ago, or thereabouts, on Disney Plus, Echo. Isn't everybody super stoked? I mean, I'm sure I'm the only person that forgot this was even coming out until like a couple of days ago.
But you do have your vigilante outfit with your fingerless gloves to fight crime with our gal Echo.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready to be your sidekick, man. I'm gonna get all invested in this, and it's gonna be great. Look, as always, I hope it's great, but I can't pretend like I really cared that this was happening. Like, when I found out this was being spun off, for a second I was like, wait, who? She's maybe the least memorable character in Hawkeye.
Yeah, this
is that hyperbolic? That's maybe slightly hyperbolic, but I was watching that show. Like, you know, when I found out she was going to spin off and going, I don't see her carrying her own show. I don't see it.
Yeah, no, I definitely had that from Hawkeye. But I feel like this and She-Hulk had very similar discourse online, where there's a lot of people going, Daredevil, when's Daredevil going to show up? And other people going, hey, this is a She-Hulk, or in this case, an Echo TV show. Be excited for them. And everyone else going, but Daredevil.
Yeah, it's like, but we can't get excited about a character just because we're told to. Just because this thing is coming out. You know what I mean? Like, you have to earn that in some way. Or it has to be source material that people are already really excited to see. And I'm not saying that you should only make things based on source material that has a big fan base. Of course I wouldn't say that. I mean, that's preposterous. There's lots of things that are worthy, maybe, of being adapted and could get, you know, into the mainstream because they're really cool, like Guardians. Like, Human Target has had 2 TV shows. Nobody even knows who that is. Like, it can work.
Yeah, I will say, though, their strategy for the Netflix stuff, like integrating, has been really, really weird. Because our introduction to Daredevil is like a cameo in Spider-Man and just like an episode where he teams up with She-Hulk, and our introduction to Kingpin is him getting shot in Hawkeye.
Yeah, but Echo. They don't... Here's the thing. They're having their cake and eating it, too, really hard with Daredevil because they're not... They're both not playing it like it's the first time we've seen them, and also trying to sort of make it okay if you've never seen it before, like maybe this is actually their introductions and maybe that stuff in Netflix doesn't count. Like, don't you think that's a little column A, a little column B?
Yeah,
trying to play it for both audiences.
Wishy-washy, which is what you and I both said it would be when No Way Home came out, and
I still swear to God, when you get into Born Again, and I know that they're completely overhauling that whole show, or mostly overhauling it, but when you get into that, I think it will still be ultra ambiguous as to what in that previous show even counts.
Yeah, probably. I have a feeling it's going to be very much what the new Transformers movies are like, where like you'll hear everybody else involved talking about it, and they're like, oh, you know, this is like a reboot series, and then like the main producer's like, oh, it's a prequel to the Bay films, and it's like these two things can't line up, but like there's still too much DNA in them. I think it's going to be like that.
No, that's a really good comparison, and it's kind of like what X-Men had with First Class.
Sure, yeah.
Initially, until they full on, even if it didn't really work, like with Days of Future Past, when they just full on said, okay, it's all in the same continuity, they at least told us for sure if it was supposed to all count together, even if you can't reconcile everything. I don't know that Marvel will ever do that, but it will also be interesting to see if with Kingpin in this show, there's any direct discussion of his background and specific things he's done before in the Netflix show. Because even if they give us some of that, I think it will still be kind of awkward and difficult to tell. But I guess we'll see, because they're also trying to play it really hard, like, look, everybody, you're getting your hard R Netflix stuff back. And I'm like, I mean, I'll believe it when I see it, and even if it's, you know, real rough and tumble, it doesn't mean the writing will be any good. But hopefully. Like everything with this new banner that they're doing. What are they calling it? It's not Marvel Knights. What is it?
Marvel Spotlight.
That's what it is. Everything with that is kind of screaming. This is for all those folks that missed the hard R Netflix stuff, and don't worry, we're gonna give you that again. And it's also confusing people as to whether it's canonical or its own thing, which is funny because I don't think they thought that was going to be confusing for people, and it's clearly supposed to be an MCU mainstream. But I've seen like videos and stuff where people are coming out really confused about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I've just seen like more so people laughing at the fact that they announced a banner for things that will have character development. Stuff like that.
No, it's hilarious. Well, they might as well call it like Marvel Sophisticated. You know, because that's what they're trying to tell you it is. And I'm like, well, that's a bold statement to make from these folks right now.
Yeah, exactly.
The way it's been. But again, as always, I'm as open-minded as I can be. I also don't want to ever let myself get to a real stoked place with it. Not that Echo I would anyway, but like to get to a real stoked place with it where it's like, oh, this time, you know, you're for sure. Because there's no... like my standards for this stuff have been so low lately, and they haven't done anything in a while to really give me a lot of confidence in like the people they've been hiring and just even the basic pitches and stuff. So like I'm open to it being great. Don't get me wrong, but there's no reason for me to expect that.
Well, I will say I have both with this and the Agatha show, probably like the most interest in those over other shows that they've done, just because I have no real investment on the characters.
Yeah, so that's nice. If they screw it up, it's not like Man-Thing for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh well, whatever. And B, like I liked WandaVision, so maybe it's the same people that are doing that, so maybe I'll like.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Okay.
And with
good.
this, it's like, I like the street level, like Daredevil, Kingpin stuff. So, maybe.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're saying with Agatha, that's the same people. I thought you were saying this was those folks.
No. For Agatha, it's the same people as WandaVision. With this, it's just I like that kind of street level Daredevil stuff. So like maybe, and like I said, I don't have a ton of care for like Echo. Like I don't know that character.
Yeah,
and I like Hawkeye well enough.
Like I might, I don't know. I don't have a lot of extra time right now to watch things and review stuff, and that's partly why I've been doing these kinds of streams lately. But what I wanted to say is maybe I'll try to carve out a little bit of time and like read that initial Echo trade and review that, just so that I've seen something with this character. I didn't even think to do that before this because we didn't decide to do this until today.
Mm-hmm. No, I just learned like 2 minutes ago that Jimmy Palmiotti, I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not entirely sure, is one of the co-creators of Echo, and I was like, oh, cool. I love his Jonah Hex. Maybe I should read his Echo.
Oh, okay. Now, do you know, like, has anybody that's worked on this show done any other Marvel stuff?
I can't remember. It's been so long since I've looked into like who was making this stuff. I want to say they maybe brought some Netflix people over for this, but it's been so long I can't remember.
I guess we'll see, and we'll see if they handcuffed them or if they kind of let him alone with this one, because this is one of those shows where they've got to know nobody really cares that much, so they're probably not. There's probably not a lot of like hardline. I don't know what word I'm looking for. Sorry, I'm already tired. It's already late. Hopefully, I can get a second win here as we get into this. But I wonder if there's any mandates from on high with this show, or if they just kind of let him alone.
I'm sure there probably is.
There usually seems to be, but yeah.
Bad News Production is asking us about the like oversaturatedness of all this comic book stuff.
Yeah, and he says, I guess I'm asking the wrong people. Sounds like you're looking forward to more pointless, oversaturated content.
I mean, my reaction is more so than like other things. I don't have a ton of interest in this, and I do think this is something that they don't need to be making right now. Like they can barely get people interested in their movies, let alone an Echo TV show.
No, all I'm saying is I'm open-minded. Like, I'm giving it a shot. I put that in the title. Yeah. So I'm open-minded to it being cool. It would be, I think, kind of pointless and a waste of my time to come into this going, oh boy, I hope it sucks. Like I don't love hate watching things. Now I'm not saying that that I'm above that when folks really want me to look at a thing that I don't think I'm going to like. But I always try. Like I'm talking about doing the new Trek shows finally over on Patreon. I don't want to do that on the main channel because I'm afraid too much of it'll just be me screaming into a microphone, and it's going to be very, very negative, I'm sure. But like even that, when stuff jumps out at me that is cool and I was surprised by, like I'm going to give it its due when that happens. That's different than, man, I sure hope they make a bunch of pointless, redundant stuff. But when I say Marvel's got all kinds of characters that aren't necessarily popular that you could do cool things with, I'm sick of the oversaturation. But would it feel oversaturated if most of it was great? Like if they could put out the amount of content they are, but they had some quality control, I don't think we'd feel that way about it.
Yep, pretty much.
Well, let's go ahead and get into this, guys. So we are watching it, obviously, blind. Somebody at the beginning said we should watch it deaf, and then somebody said we should watch it blind and deaf, which would just be sitting here, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
I had that thought, Austin. I was like, a long time ago, I did that commentary on the original Daredevil movie with Eric, where we did it literally blind. We blindfolded ourselves and we just listened to it. And I was like, oh, we can do that with this. We just watch it, and we don't know what the soundtrack sounds like.
I was thinking about that earlier today. I was like, what if we did that for this, but it was like we put in earplugs, and I went, wait a minute, then we can't hear each other.
Which would be hilarious,
Yeah.
We're just, it's just chaos. We're just Dark Knight Joker.
Mm.
We just want to watch our own YouTube channel burn. Bad News came back and said, I appreciate the response. I wish I could have more faith in the industry these days. It used to be so much fun. I mean, I'm right there with you. I feel that way about it, too. I'm doing this kind of stuff right now because, our audience remains kind of curious sometimes about, our response to these things. And I can't get invested enough to act like I'm with you so much, Bad News, that the only way I'll watch these things right now is to talk over them. Like that's where I'm at right now. I don't even care enough to watch the whole thing and then sit down and do a review. That's how lazy I am with this stuff right now because I'm that not invested in it. So like this is how you get any content about MCU stuff from me right now, except for movies in the theater.
And I'm along for the ride.
And I really appreciate it. Okay, let's do it. Hopefully, it's all right.
Before we start, can I mention how my Disney Plus is apparently so broken that it's got the titles and descriptions for every single episode except for 3, which just says episode 3, watch this episode now. And the thumbnail is just like the show's thumbnail. It's not like an episode specific one.
That's hilarious.
That's funny. Also, I like the description for episode 5 just says fireworks at the powwow. I'm excited to find out about that.
The tantalizing conclusion. I'm sure you'll see that fixed by morning.
Yeah, I'm sure.
By the way, our plan is to just sample this and watch the first couple of episodes. If it's really grabbing us and we're having a lot of fun, in whatever way, we may go ahead and watch one more. But I've got a new baby in the house. It's hard for me to stay up insanely late and because I got to get up in the morning. So I'm not promising anything past 2. But we'll see what happens. Here we go, everybody. BlushDX says spoilers.
I'm sorry.
You spoiled that there's fireworks at the powwow. Nicholas Bodo, hey guys, hope you enjoy Echo. Me too. What's your favorite version of Kingpin? I can't say this one. I have to say the Netflix version.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just like all versions of Kingpin, but I feel like the Netflix one is the most sophisticated, like even more so than the comics version.
It's the most layered, it's the most tragic, it's the saddest, it's also the scariest. It feels like the perfect blend between Bendis and Miller, and then it goes its own way too.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
That's what I want from a lot of villains in Marvel, and maybe every character in Marvel, where in one side it feels like a total reinvention, but then you see all the things that they gleaned from, It's sort of like Civil War as a piece, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of like that, but for characters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to elaborate on that. We got to get into this.
Okie dokie.
Sorry, Austin. Are you ready, buddy?
Yeah.
Austin's so excited. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. Let's roll.
We're going to watch it. The following contains mature content. Viewer discretion advised. Like, they are really leaning into, look, we're finally giving you what you want, guys.
Which is what they said
It's
about
dark.
Moon Knight, and that show is not violent at all. So we'll see.
We'll see what this is like. All right, everybody. Get it to timestamp 0. Now, are you past the initial Disney logo or right at the initial Disney logo? Because we were off by like 5 seconds last time because of that, I think.
Oh, that makes sense. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I paused it right after because it holds as like a 0 through the entire Disney Plus logo. So I was just pause it.
Okay, sweet.
At the black screen.
What's weird is now when I restarted, it doesn't even show that anymore. It just shows the new black Marvel Studios logo.
Oh, spoilers!
Because it's dark and R, folks. Oh, it's held on that. Like as soon as I come in, that's what I see. Okay, whatever. Everybody, get ready to press play when I say now. We're gonna get right into it. Alex Barron can't contain his excitement. Thanks for watching live. Leave comments. We'll interact with you as much as we can. Here we go. Everybody, please press play. Right. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Hang on. I gotta pull up my my clock so that everybody can follow with us.
You're pulling out your what?
My the clock, the timer.
The show is TV mature.
No, the timer.
We
need a black. We need a black logo ourselves.
We need what now? Holy!
I'm so glad you're along for the ride. Oh my God, Austin. Clock. It's a timer. Everybody, please press play right now.
The following contains mature content. Viewer discretion advised. Not even is advised, just advised.
Previously on. Oh, wait.
Previously on. We didn't animate our logo. At least the Marvel Spotlight one is kind of animated.
Yeah, well, it's got to have piano music because that tells you it's going to be sophisticated.
But the Marvel Studios logo is just a JPEG.
At least they didn't throw a bunch of Netflix stuff in it. Because that would have just been disingenuous, probably.
What do you mean? Like the Netflix logo?
No, I mean if they did the regular Marvel Studios logo, but it had all the like actual images in it, but it was all from the Netflix shows. I'm glad they didn't do that.
You say that? That will be the Born Again one, right?
It'll just be all Daredevil stuff.
Yeah, because we've been playing around a lot more with that, like with the character specific.
Yeah. Where are we?
I'm gonna assume this has something to do with
Native American mythology.
Native ancestors.
It feels like space.
It does a little bit, but also you could say that about like Wakanda if you're coming and you don't know anything about it.
Oh, that's fair. Sure. But like right away, it feels like Eternals or Inhumans or something.
Oh, for sure. No, it does definitely have that. Well, she's got like kind of the Zordon from the new Power Rangers movie look, right?
I'm just gonna have that stuck in my head the way Rita says Zordon on it. Zardan. Zardan.
It's like ethnically ambiguous, Rita.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly what she is. That is an excellent CGI bird. Well done.
That was. It looked good. I mean, I'll say off the bat, I'm intrigued because I don't know what's going on yet. And I expected more like a street level opening.
It's a bunch of naked people in Wraith Cave. They're all gonna die. Look out.
Well, now that you say that, now I'm getting flashbacks to Apocalypse when the thing caves in.
Well, I find myself wondering if it's gonna have that Smallville thing where we have Native American mythology that's affected by aliens or interdimensional races or something. Like, are we doing that whole thing? Is it gonna be like the Kawachis?
Maybe, yeah, because I assumed we were just like in a cave on Earth, but now it's looking like like it is more of like a creation myth for the natives.
Okay,
I mean,
great.
that's
Says
kind of
this is street
cool.
level. Well, so I know that a lot of the show is supposed to take place like back in her native land.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like she comes back home
Interesting.
because I just read like a little bit on Wikipedia about what the
Yeah.
premise is, but I haven't looked deep into the show or anything.
Well, I
I
knew
know
that
it's
they were
not going to
trying
be a
to
bunch of
convert
New
to that.
York, or at least it won't be all New York.
Mm. But I knew they were like tying it more to like a native ancestry than what the comics has.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking right now. When does a predator show up?
I mean, I want to see that. Disney owns Predator
There's
now.
no reason they can't do it. I mean, besides the fact that it would be stupid, but
Yeah. I am a little surprised we haven't gotten any like Marvel characters versus Predator yet, outside of just covers.
me too. Even the stuff they own, they don't seem to like to mix a ton.
Hmm. Yeah, because stuff like Star Wars or Planet of the Apes, like I can see why that would be hard to cross over.
In case you missed the timestamp, this is a flashback.
Yeah, I think it's the 2007.
It's the 2007, yeah.
The same year as Spider-Man 3.
That is true.
Maybe they'll go and see Spider-Man 3 in a minute.
And X3 was the year before, right?
Yeah, it's 2006. This is Spider-Man 3 and Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer, yeah, yeah. Hayden says Wolverine versus Predator is out right now. I didn't know that.
I saw a cover, but I didn't realize that was like a full book.
Okay, so they are doing it. I've not been keeping up with comics at all. But I would check that out. Because for me, Predator is a villain for other things that it crosses over with.
Well, for you, he's a Batman.
He's a Batman villain. I mean, well,
and Wolverine's
the
mask
Predator.
Is just two Batmans kissing, so you like kind of get that.
So Austin doesn't look at the subtitles while we're watching these live, which I think is crazy. I have to follow the story at all, but he's going to have to do a lot more reading than normal because a lot of it will be subtitled because people are using sign language, and Austin and I don't speak sign language, or at least I don't think Austin speaks sign language.
No, I was thinking about this earlier. I should have brought my one brother on. He can speak sign language.
Is that right? Did he just take it as an elective, or does he have like deaf friends? Or
I think he just like taught himself like just online.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he also taught himself how to play piano. So I guess he just does a lot of that.
Wow, he just wants to know how to do things.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, that and he can read Braille. Just like another thing that he looked up, I think.
So this seems to be the formula for a lot of these shows now is we introduce, and I guess some movies too, but like we introduce a character that's like either an immigrant or has families that are immigrants. In this case, of course, it's Native Americans, but we go to another culture and we infuse the story with that culture a lot more maybe than even the comics of it would, like you alluded to with Echo.
Yeah, I will say, like, I am with this so far. I think it also just looks better than most of their shows do.
Well, and I kind of expected this to immediately open with Hawkeye flashbacks, because I know this first episode is supposed to have some of that.
Yeah, I heard, like, early reviews saying this episode is, like, mostly, like, Hawkeye footage, like, awkwardly cut in.
Not so far.
I haven't seen any of that so far, yeah.
No, this seems like a real kind of classic, superhero backstory flashback. Like, a lot of superhero movies open like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we got to get that tragic backstory. And also, this has the Daredevil movie thing where we haven't.
I was just thinking about
met the adult her yet. We're dealing with her younger self so far.
Now she's in the hospital, and we can have that hospital scene from Daredevil.
So she married into a bad family, Austin.
Oh no.
And that's how we get mixed up into the crime world. You know, if a little bit of this had been in Hawkeye, I might have been a little bit more interested in this character.
Well, we alluded to some of this in Hawkeye, but it also felt really cut down because she was getting her own show.
Yeah, had they decided that as they made that?
I think so, because I think they announced it while they were filming.
That's so interesting. Because they were oversaturating everything, so we're like... So they're like, well, we don't want to tell you too much about, like, delivery... Like, Pizza Delivery Man #2, because he's going to get his own show, too.
My assumption was always just they really liked that actress and went, oh, let's give her a show.
Yeah.
But I don't know for sure.
I hope this isn't one of those things where the flashback is really cool, and then we get into present day and I don't care, and I wish the whole thing was just flashback.
Absolutely.
So far, this feels kind of fresh.
It's actually a character spotlight so far.
Wow. Look at that. It's like a one shot.
It's like classic Marvel spotlight.
Oh, and see, she's immediately tragic because she's blaming herself for what happened to her mom. See, this is all great informative stuff where I will immediately care a lot more about our protagonist. And like, I don't always need flashbacks like this, but if you're gonna do them, I really appreciate getting them up front instead of weaving them in throughout. Because very often you're just telling a different story that's not informing what you're looking at enough. It can be done well, but we do that too often.
It depends what it is.
This structurally tends to be the safer move.
Yeah. But I also feel like...
I'm not saying that you should always do that, but it's grabbing me okay right now. So maybe they made the right call with that.
I feel like it's the safer route in terms of like storytelling, and not the safest route in that you'll get people watching it and going, when is Daredevil gonna fight Echo?
Yeah, no, that's right. But Austin, I just want a cool story.
I just want to see Daredevil punch this character in the face. Oh, New York.
Slow motion waving. The show does look pretty good so far.
Oh, I think this is a Hawkeye flashback.
And like it's carving out a kind of a pretty specific tone. But Austin, with the Hawkeye flashbacks, they could handle it in such a way where it'll feel like Hawkeye was just showing you previews of this show. Like, if you edit that together right, it might not matter.
Absolutely. I don't know exactly why we just put that one shot in there, but but I'm pretty sure it's been a while since I've seen that show. But I'm pretty sure that classroom scene is from that show.
She just said, "What if?"
Oh, is she going to be tied to that new What If character?
I don't think so. I'm not sure what they're talking about right away, but it sounds vaguely like the multiverse. Because she said, "What if they come?" And I'm not sure. I'm sure it's related to that opening scene.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's something to do with their culture.
And then he said something about two worlds. So that makes me think that there's an interdimensional thing.
I think
vaguely in the background
is also from Hawkeye.
And see, it's been long enough since I've seen that, and I don't remember her stuff very well in that show, that if it's integrated right, I'm not going to notice or care.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to make fun of them for if they put a bunch of footage from that show in this, because that's also on Disney Plus, and I could just go watch it, but then I did not bother to watch that again.
Oh yeah, it definitely is, because they're the tracksuit mafia, like the villains of that show.
Yeah, but I think they're supposed to be involved in this show too.
Oh, okay.
So even
Possibly.
if
Like,
that's
I don't
footage
really
from that
understand.
show, it might be stuff you need established for the story we're telling.
Mhm. Oh yeah, no, it definitely is. I remember seeing that shot the first time and being like, "Oh, that's our first appearance of the Kingpin in the MCU, I guess." Outside of, Netflix, if that counts.
And I think this actress has a real prosthetic leg. Am I right about that?
Yes. Yes.
And so
Which
they
is something that is
integrated that into this
so
character.
yeah, which is something that like I don't know that they really showed off enough in the Hawkeye show because I never remembered that she did,
No, they made a big deal out of it here.
which is maybe just me being dumb or look, she goes to Fat Man Auto Repair. That must be owned by the Kingpin.
Ooh, what? That's foreshadowing.
It is foreshadowing, yeah.
So I'm gonna assume that they just liked this actress and then decided to integrate the prosthetic limb into her character as opposed to like writing that in the first place and looking for an actress that has that.
That's possible. I know so little about Echo. I was just assumed that she had that, and we were lucky enough to find somebody who did. But that's probably the actual
Well,
case.
I don't know why you would assume that because they don't read comics anymore when they adapt stuff. So,
Fair enough.
and
Well, they gave her different powers. From what
well,
I
they
understand.
decided her power was lame, and I can see visually why you would feel that way. You know what I mean? Because her power in the comics is apparently, and I don't want to pretend like I've read it, I haven't, but apparently it's that she can like recreate any like action other people make, and I can see how that's hard to visualize. How that would be difficult to produce on screen.
Well, we saw how they did Taskmaster.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this is the same studio where the director of Spider-Man was like, "I love Chameleon, but I don't know how you make him cinematic." It's like, come on,
Yeah.
what?
No, I'm with you. I was fully expecting. This show right away is taking itself more seriously than I was thinking it might, but also is so far paced okay. We're only a few minutes in, so I mean, anything can happen. But
Yeah, and the Hawkeye footage isn't super like tonally off. Like it does feel like it goes with what's happening.
I was just gonna say before I saw any of this, I really expected there to be, maybe there still will be, a like cute reference to what her powers in the comics are supposed to be. Because we always do that. Oh, of course she has to have like a cool Akira motorcycle.
Oh, not anymore. She's about to get arrested.
Oh no. We don't have the money to do this action scene, so let's just get her arrested.
I don't have transportation. That means it's okay for me to break the law.
I'm joking about that. I'm sure we'll get some action stuff with that motorcycle at some point. It would be really weird to introduce it like that and to just not use it.
No, I assume she's gonna get away. Oh, or she's gonna destroy the motorcycle.
Oh, that's cool.
I like how the sound dropped out.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I'm expecting now they'll do a lot of that.
I assume so. They did a bit of it in Hawkeye and it was pretty cool. So
Really gets us in her head and gives us some POV. Austin, like I said
if
earlier,
only Daredevil had the guts to just have the screen go black for minutes at a time.
Great. Oh man, who do you think this is, Austin? I'm gonna be so
Harvey
surprised.
Bullock.
Well, at least they showed the back of his head really quick.
Yeah, it's Egghead from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I'm liking his creepy piano theme.
That's not bad.
Okay, are they gonna write him close enough to the performance D'Onofrio was doing?
I guess we'll have to see. You arrested my deaf daughter.
That makes it okay for me to break the law.
That means it's okay for me to
Okay,
stop
Austin,
crying.
right away. They're going back to his background, but he's lying about it. he says, "My father was killed also when I was 12 years old."
Yeah, well, and he's got the cufflinks in Hawkeye. I remember people making a big deal about that, but I think it's mostly just going to be like little references because right away the whole him being connected to Echo thing doesn't track. It's like there's going to be like soft rebooty things.
Yeah, it's too retroactive, but the motivation lines up fine.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
with why he would take her in.
He needs to tell Echo to do a primal scream like he does with Bullseye.
And he just comes right back into this role without a hitch, man. Like,
him and Cox both. Like they both just like didn't skip a beat. Which for both of them in like Hawkeye and She-Hulk makes some of the writing more awkward, but we'll see how it goes with this and Born Again.
you know, like I said earlier, in Hawkeye, I had a hard time imagining her carrying her own show. A couple scenes in, I'm seeing it more.
No, I am too. Like I remember thinking with Hawkeye, she's kind of like had a scowl the entire time, which
you can
makes
see
sense
a lot
like,
behind her eyes. Like,
yeah, like immediately I'm seeing it.
That's
more
also
here.
easier to play if they gave you real material, and it's starting to feel like maybe they did. There's potential here. Omari Daniels, She-Hulk made everything awkward. Everything. Not even Marvel things, but everything.
It is because of that I can now say I've seen Daredevil do a walk of shame.
You know the best thing so far about this 20 minutes in? I'm detecting so much competence. In a way I didn't with She-Hulk and with Secret Invasion. You have scenes, Austin, that, like, don't linger for no reason?
That beat was a little weird, but, like...
Nah, I was talking over it.
It's whatever. The security guard was giving them a pat down, and then he, like, grabbed her butt, and she, like, pinned him to the wall.
Oh. So are you saying you don't buy that and it's kind of heavy-handed, or?
I don't know. It was weird, but like I don't know. I'm indifferent. If that's like the one moment where I'm like, oh, that's a little weird, then that's fine.
Oh my god.
that shot was a little funny when he shot that guy.
I must be a little ahead of you. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, I also like it like took a second to process too.
Oh, okay.
Like he hit the floor and I was like, what?
You can tell they're working so hard to live up to Daredevil and Jessica Jones. And this camera work with this fight scene is a lot like what we were doing in first season.
See, I was just about to say it's Daredevil but awkward. It's not as like smooth of camera work. I don't know.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to get through the scene before I judged it much, but
yeah, no, of course.
And that was an easy cheat for this oneer. Yeah, the shirt that goes right up into the camera. Like, well, that's where
do something.
that's
like
where
that,
the cut
yeah.
was, folks. Oh no, I'm not even complaining that that's there, but
No, of course.
and then we're doing the sound dropping out thing again.
No, but we got like a heartbeat. That's kind of cool.
I'm digging this fine so far, man.
I liked that. It had like a heartbeat, and then you hear the next.
And then you hear the
snap, and
crack?
the heartbeat
Yeah.
stops. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So far, it feels like it fits in. It actually really does feel like it fits in with those shows so far. And that's not me saying, because we haven't seen enough of this yet, to say that it lives up to Daredevil Season 1. It doesn't have to for me to say that, Austin, because there's a lot of bad in the Netflix shows.
Yeah, I mean, Daredevil's the only show that's consistently good.
Yeah. Like, I just mean tonally. Would you agree? This doesn't feel like a Disney Plus show at all.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd say it's more in line with, like, Daredevil than, say, like, Iron Fist and most of Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Just tonally.
Which is good.
And there he is.
Oh, yeah. Speak of the Daredevil, and he will appear.
And I knew he was coming because they released, like, a little bit of their fight, and that, like, cage that was there is there.
I'm sorry. The music got loud and I missed that. What were you saying?
I just was saying they released, like, a clip of their fight, and that cage that's next to them was there. So I knew he was coming in the scene.
Okay, yeah. And I went into this as blind and deaf as possible, Austin. So, like, I didn't watch trailers or anything.
I mostly have that blind thing. It was just, I saw this clip everywhere.
We're not wasting any time. I mean, we knew he was coming. I like that they got out right away. And if they were going to sell this really hard on Daredevil and Kingpin, good on them for having them both in the first 25 minutes. Like, who knows how much of the actual show they'll be in, but I'm liking the backlighting here, the kind of pseudo-silhouettes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I saw the clip, I thought some of the choreography was a little stiff, and it is in places, but it's not as bad as I thought in the clip.
No, that stunt was great.
And I will also give them having a deaf performer, I imagine, also makes choreography a lot harder.
Okay, I honestly didn't know.
It being a little stiffer.
I honestly didn't know if the actress was actually deaf.
Yes, she is.
Cool.
No, so I will also give it props that I'm sure that makes it more challenging too. So if it's like a little stiffer than Daredevil.
Now look, nothing against Charlie Cox, but we'd all be more impressed if he was also blind.
I'm not convinced he's not blind. There's like large parts of that show where I forget that he's not blind.
Because he's so good at playing that.
He's so good at playing it.
What if years from now he comes on record and goes, "I've always been blind, everybody."
Nicholas Bodo says Jessica Jones season 1 is as good as Daredevil for him. I actually prefer Jessica Jones season 1 to all of Daredevil.
Those first two seasons are on par to me, but as a character piece, I think I like Jessica Jones just a tad more.
Well, and I'll give it to Daredevil, and that Daredevil's a tighter season than Jessica Jones season 1. There's like a little bit of fluff in it, but
the padding never bothered me. People complain about that, and like I agree, but I don't have a problem with it. Like,
no, I'm not saying that it bothers me. I'm just saying, like, in terms of quality, like Daredevil's a tighter season, so I can give it that. But I prefer Jessica Jones season 1.
Okay, is this a montage of stuff from Hawkeye?
There might have been shots, but a lot of the Hawkeye stuff was earlier. We had like a 10-minute stretch where it was just Hawkeye footage for a bit.
And like it all integrated fine to me because I didn't remember any of that. And
when Hawkeye showed up in it, that was the bit when Ronan was killing everyone.
Oh, okay.
That was all stuff from Hawkeye.
Sure, and like a couple of bits I caught, but I mean,
and this.
But it seemed like
it
fit in there. Okay, I don't know. Oh
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, there he is.
But I'm just saying, like that's where some of it was. It's not as awkward as like I heard people make it out to be, but I don't know if it's because we're talking over it.
Yeah, I mean that makes it hard to judge. It's easy when we're doing this exercise to either be way too easy on a thing or way too hard on a thing. And just keep in mind,
pay Jeremy Renner for this. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, good call.
Because it's also just archival footage, but we probably have to pay for his.
Just keep in mind, this is just first impressions of watching it. This is not like a honest God review, obviously.
Well, I mentioned like the Netflix thing where like it's kind of going back to that, but a lot of that's just visually.
Yeah. But I like what it looks like.
That's what I'm saying. Like we don't really know for sure if it's like, as well written as that show is.
I haven't cringed real hard at any writing yet, and I like that it's not overwritten yet.
That is true. And here's the end of Hawkeye.
But we are doing a lot of archival footage right now. didn't mind it because I found her so unmemorable in that. Now I'm looking at this stuff with kind of a different eye because I'm more intrigued by her.
Why you shot me in front of Vanessa?
Oh yeah, doesn't he lose his sight?
In the comics, I don't know if he will here or not.
I thought that was supposed to be the whole thing, though, where that
I know that was what a lot of fans were
everyone was
saying.
kind of
like,
expecting. Yeah,
yeah, because he goes blind in the comics when he gets shot by her, but I don't know. If
I'm sure that's
film.
what we're doing here, though, right? Because
Probably.
like we know he's not dead, so what else would they do? I just couldn't remember if that was like actually confirmed somewhere or if that was just rumor.
When they've sold the show so much on Kingpin, like he just got shot. Like, is he gonna be in every episode or?
Yeah, no, that's a question. Now, if something about this location and the color correcting and stuff looked very, very like end of the first Terminator to me.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say the airbase from Captain Marvel. So you're a little nicer than I am.
You remember that airbase in the Terminator? Omar Daniels, what does it say that they marketed so much Daredevil and Kingpin in a show called Echo?
I mean, I'm sure, that and the fact that they dropped it all at once says that they don't have a ton of faith in the show. But we'll see.
Well, the risk they took was, if you're right about it, and I think you are, is spinning off a character before you knew if anybody was going to latch onto it. It's like, you can't pretend like, oh, this is this big fan favorite thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Which can sometimes work. Like, I mean, Peacemaker was announced as a spin-off before that movie came out, but that was like James Gunn was stuck in lockdown and was like, I'm bored. I'm going to write a Peacemaker show.
That's why he did it, yeah.
So, like, that's different. Like, that's at least somebody being like, oh, I want to make this. Which I would imagine this doesn't really have because it's the MCU.
So that was kind of a cool way to do time passing. I don't know that I've ever seen that.
Well, now she's doing the crash from Iron Man 3.
Am I reading that shot right? Where it's like, because it looked like it was just daylight, and then all of a sudden it was night. Was that supposed to indicate she's now moved a long way down the highway?
Yeah. Did that say Oklahoma?
Yeah, she's in Oklahoma.
Yeah. I don't know U.S. geography. I'm Canadian,
there's
but
some real style here. Yeah,
I'm
Oklahoma.
assuming that's not next to New York.
We're about 8 hours from 6 to 8 hours from Oklahoma, where I'm at. There's a Star Trek convention I used to drive to in Oklahoma. That's where I met Adam West. Was at that
cool.
show. My favorite Star Trek actor.
Well, and one of the last movies I watched was Scorsese's new movie about the natives in Oklahoma in the 20s. So
oh, interesting.
I'm sure this will be about on par with that.
Well, I was going to say, you're going to be glad that you are informed now.
Mm-hmm. That, by the way, is a really great movie. If you haven't seen it, people in chat, go watch it.
What is that called again?
Killers of the Flower Moon. It's probably my favorite Scorsese movie at this point. It was really good.
Is it good or another Marvel flop? LOL. So far, I'm intrigued. I'm not turned off to it yet. It's one of those things I'm wishing I wasn't talking over.
Yeah, I'm not like super against it so far. This is all right.
I think the few scenes we've seen with her so far, Austin, she's doing a hell of a job.
She is, yeah. Because like I said, from Hawkeye, I was like, really? She's going to get a spin-off? But right away, this actress is doing a really good job. She does not
look like an entitled actress just trying to get paid, man. Like, she's doing a performance here.
Oh, we're back to Zordon.
Meanwhile, back in the rave cave.
I almost called him Jordan.
Zordon.
It's like a mix of Jor-El and Zordon.
And you can't say Zor-El because that's already a thing.
Exactly, which is why we need to invent Jordan-El.
Are you scared, Austin?
No, I'm just wondering, when are they going to get to the fireworks at the powwow?
You gotta wait 4 more episodes!
Oh, okay.
Why'd you have to spoil it for yourself? Why'd you have to spoil the fireworks?
But surely we'll set up the powwow before that.
Biscuits? What are you wearing? Why is your name Biscuits?
Because it's cute?
Now for the comic relief.
Yeah, is this like the first joke we got was biscuits you home?
I think so. Well, we saw him as a kid, I think, right?
Yes.
But you'd think that the dog would be named Biscuits, but no, you've reversed the names. The dog's name is Billy Jack.
Well, she's Henry Jones Jr. She took the echo from the dog.
I guess this does not feel like anything I've seen on with MCU before. So good on him, folks. Good job, Teddy.
It is, but
yeah.
I am a little trepidatious that this family plot is gonna go into like the boat territory from the Falcon.
I knew
show.
you were gonna say that, yeah, because I know you
We'll
really hate
see.
that stuff, and it was just long and dull.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried it's gonna go to like that kind of TV plays, like boring TV plays.
What didn't help was that we didn't know anything about Falcon's family, and he was in too many movies for us to finally get there. And it was like, oh, that's it. That's what we're getting. Okay.
Well, it just felt like a CW plot too.
Yeah,
the way they
and it
handled
just felt like uninspired. It was like, well, they got to give him something to do. He's got to come from somewhere. This feels more natural than that somehow.
So far,
at least initially.
Like I said, it's more of like a trepidatious, like, watch where you're... Powwow! There was a sign for the powwow.
That's the foreshadowing for the fireworks. Exactly.
Well, next we're going to find out that the local store is selling fireworks.
Did you see the sign that said Iron Rings?
I
like
did.
Some combination of like Iron Fist and the 10 rings.
Because it was right next to, it was either right next to or it was the dojo looking thing, and I was like, oh, it's Iron Fist. Oh, that's not Iron Fist.
Well, no, because we're in Oklahoma, Austin.
Okay, but would that not be fitting for the MCU to just be like, nobody liked Iron Fist? He runs a dojo in Oklahoma.
Teddy says that'd be amazing. He's so rich, he just has dojos everywhere.
Well, and Colleen Wing was what's it called? Iron Fist by the end.
Dude, what did I just see in the last couple of days that used this song? I just watched a movie or something that used Centerfold. What was it? I can't remember.
What song is this again? I'm blanking on the name.
This is, I can't remember the band, but this is Centerfold. Angel in the Centerfold.
Yeah.
But this was in something I just watched. God, that's gonna drive me crazy.
The Make America Skate thing looked way cringier in the trailer because it looked like it was a Kingpin controlled roller rink. So I'm glad that's not.
That's why I just don't even watch trailers anymore, because it's so easy to read it and all that kind of stuff. I mean, they might have just shot this at a roller rink that had that sign. Like,
they don't film on location, Cap. This is all on a blue screen.
We spent $19 million for this set for no reason. We could have just gone to one.
No, we spent $19 million blue screening them into a roller rink.
I'm sorry, I keep forgetting how these things work.
You will believe a deaf woman can be at a roller rink. Was the tagline, if I'm not mistaken.
Teddy says, dude, well, hey, Teddy, it's not my fault. Austin kept interrupting me when I was trying to read your chat. He says, dude, if this is successful, they're just wait, we're going to start seeing a bunch of MMA TV shows. Oh, no, I'm sorry, TV MA shows. I thought he said MMA shows. Well, no, definitely that's what they'll do. They'll just try to bring back the Netflix era to, I'm sure, varying degrees of success. But also, Netflix had Netflix's era to varying degrees of success.
This roller rink's so old school, they actually have a record playing DJ instead of just a guy with a laptop.
Hey, records sound better.
They made that kid fall over though. What a jerk.
I can relate to that.
What, making kids fall over?
No, being the kid that gets knocked over.
Oh. I was like, it's either that or being a jerk. Which
Because
do you relate to?
Because I was never good at skating, so it was really easy to knock me over. I'm sure nobody ever did it on purpose.
I've actually never been rollerblading. Maybe like once as a kid.
I did it a fair bit as a kid, but I was never good at it.
I went skating a lot.
And I've been ice skating too. I actually, and like I said, I was never good at it, but I actually proposed to my wife on the ice at an ice skating rink.
Oh, I knew that. Yeah. And then you fell over. You were like,
I did not fall over. No, that didn't happen.
When I was like 16, actually no, I was like 13. I was even younger. Cause it was when I was super into Spawn. My dad challenged me to a race in skating, and I was beating him, so he just pushed me over.
What a great story. No, seriously, that was a great story.
Oh, she's got the Echo logo on her jacket. That's very like Fox X-Men.
It is, but like I don't think this character ever had a costume.
That is an insult. That was just an observation.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, with some characters it's lame, and it's not in this case necessarily.
Yeah, well, and her logo also isn't like distinct enough that you would see it on a coat where you're like, what?
Okay, I'm also resonating with this a lot more now because we've got an embalmer here, and I used to work at a mortuary. The show is speaking to me on so many levels.
The next episode will just be they find Kingpin's body and then they have to move it, but he's so fat they need a lot of people to help.
Dude, I have a couple of anecdotes
I know, that's why I said
very heavy people that we had to move when I worked in a mortuary, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Was that rough? Was that hard to look at?
It was gross. It was all pussy.
See, they did a really good makeup job.
It's a very weird word to say. I wish I didn't say that.
I don't know. I really expected, even with the whole, look, it's going to be like TV mature and we're going back to the, rough and tumble Netflix thing. Like, I thought this was going to feel more watered down.
I mean, there's not really like a ton of that stuff. Like, we saw like a guy get shot.
Not so far, but it feels plausible is all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's fair.
And I don't know if the other shows would have gotten as gross with that shot just now.
Yeah, but also I'll give them. I've never thought of the Netflix shows as being super R-rated. Like, they have like moments here and there.
Yeah, exactly.
I think part of it too is that they can't swear.
Yeah.
Like it's not like they're dropping F-bombs and stuff.
Which I always appreciated just because it makes him feel a little classier, and it makes him feel more like legit comics, because even a lot of really hard comics don't swear.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or they do the stupid asterisk thing.
That's fair, but I've also thought like part of that was they had like at least some censorship on that.
Well, they might have, but whatever the motivation was, I always kind of appreciated it. But that's just
Jessica Jones dropping F-bombs every second.
Well, that's fair. But I liked it. But I really like it with Daredevil. It is kind of weird Jessica Jones not saying the F word. I guess that's fair.
And it's mature. Luke Cage's catchphrase should now be "Sweet effing Christmas."
But no, that guy in the previous scene had a really great line where he's like, "I am not embalming you today."
It's interesting.
Never heard anybody say that.
It's interesting we're seeing Fisk's reach outside of New York, because even the Netflix shows didn't really talk about that.
Yeah, it makes him feel like he's got a much larger scope.
Empire,
and makes him feel scarier. Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna go into why he has an empire again or not, because it's really easy to explain that. Just say it happened during the blip.
I was gonna say, did he get blipped? Are we gonna go into that? I'm gonna assume he didn't.
Oh no, I'm guessing he probably didn't, because that flashback, I'm assuming, was maybe during. No, it would have had to have been during the blip, I would think. When she was fighting Daredevil, because that's after like the Ronin thing, which is would have been near the beginning of
I'm
that.
so uninvested in MCU these days. I'm not even thinking about the timeline now. Like, but no, you're probably right about that. I'm sorry, I gotta get my geek hat back on and actually care about this stuff again. Oh.
Make Cap a geek again, Matt.
See, look, he's blind.
How do you know? He's got X-Men on his eyes.
Because it's a Daredevil thing, and his eyes are covered.
But just one was, but it had an X, which means he's dead.
Or that he's an X-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, let's go ahead and stop now because we probably don't need to be spoiled about.
But how do I know what's gonna happen next? That was clearly a powwow, Cap.
Well, you have to wait for your fireworks, okay? And it doesn't look like there's any after credits.
Factory.
We're not gonna watch through the credits. They look lovely. But we'll go ahead and get to the next one. I just didn't want to be spoil this. I wish they let you watch the credits before they do the next time on. And also, why leave in the next time?
Why do they have a next?
Because they dropped it all at once. Why have that?
But also, their other shows didn't do that.
You're right. I don't think they did.
No, they didn't.
That's a Paramount Plus thing to do. Paramount does that with all the Star Treks.
If any show was going to do it, it should have been WandaVision.
Well, Paramount does that with the first episode of each Star Trek show season. They'll be like, this season on.
Oh.
And then,
please keep watching. Paramount Plus is the Jeb Bush of streaming services.
Wow.
They have to beg you to clap.
Wow, Austin with the political references tonight.
Hey, that's not political. Everybody loves Jeb Bush and his please clap.
So if people think something is funny, it immediately makes it not about politics? Like, by definition, that's a politician, Austin!
He's not a real politician.
I'm not saying you can't make that reference. I'm just making the clear observation of what that reference is.
All I'm saying is please clap.
So, one thing I'm really kind of enjoying about this is since this show just dropped, there's nobody in the comments that has seen this already. That never happens.
No, that's not surprising. It's only been out for like an hour.
No, I know that. What I'm saying is that's refreshing. Like, it's,
oh, sorry, I missed the beginning of that sentence. So, okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, I just said one of the things I'm enjoying about doing it this early is nobody can have seen it yet.
There's no one like, oh man, wait till you guys get to the powwow.
Yeah, or like me giving my first impressions as I'm just now watching it, having somebody jump in the comments and try to explain everything. Where it's like, well, I've had time to really reason this out and noodle it out, and I've seen it 3 times, and I know what everything means, and I don't know. It's just kind of refreshing for like all of us to watch it for the first time together. Nothing against anybody, but like whenever that happens, I feel kind of like I don't know what word I'm looking for. Inadequate. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh man, I should have insights. I should have come to all these conclusions already. No, it's my first time watching it. And I'll have to go back and rewatch this because obviously we talked over it, and I definitely would have missed things. But Teddy, let's go ahead and answer this real quick because it's interesting. He says, oh, and then he put in a super chat. We'll do that in a second. Thank you, Teddy. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, after this episode, would you say there is hope for the Daredevil show? I mean, I don't know because they made this show and then they started making the Daredevil show and then they scrapped a bunch, and it's not necessarily the same people working on it because everybody got fired from that show. So I don't feel like this can tell us much of anything unless they look close, unless we end up liking it and they look closer at it as they're revamping it. But like, we can't know any of that.
And I would say the biggest things that I'm liking about this show so far are, I think visually it looks better than most of their shows.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not especially grasping on the like story and character yet, but it's also just like a first episode.
Yeah.
Like I like Echo, but a lot of it's
It's
like
performance.
performance before it's like what we've really seen with her yet. So like we'll see. My big thing with Daredevil is like I really don't like that they're dropping the supporting cast, and that's going to be like a big part of me not appreciating that. Uh, we'll see.
So well, and the big you alluded to this earlier. The big difference between this and Daredevil is we both have a lot of investment in that property.
Yeah, and because Teddy wasn't here at the beginning, a big part of why I was like not excited for the show, but like I'll give it a shot, and was maybe gonna watch it even on my own. Is I have no investment in Echo. Like if the Echo show was good or bad, whatever.
I don't know. I feel like there's I don't know. This is like bottom of the barrel praise, but like I feel like I'm seeing some real effort here. There's a little style. There's a little panache. I don't know if it's getting enough done in its first episode because I need to, watch it without talking over it. So I don't feel like I can make that call right now.
When it was like all flashback, it was just
A lot,
building to
a lot of
what
it was, but that's
what status quo is.
that's okay for an introductory episode. But you've only got 5, and your first episode is almost an hour, or well, it's 43 minutes actually because you've got like 7 minutes of credits.
Probably even more so because it had that like next time
Yeah.
thing.
No, it stopped
Uh,
right at where we stopped was right at 43 minutes. So like I thought it was closer to an hour, but it's actually not any longer than a standard episode of television with commercials.
it's slightly shorter.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Yes, like it was kind of mostly that, just kind of set up, which is fine. That's
Yeah.
also the first episode of She-Hulk, and this is like a billion times better than the first episode of She-Hulk.
It is, and you remember I wasn't against that show too hard with the first episode. I was like, it could go it could go either way. I
Mhm.
was singing a different tune by episode 4.
Well, I'll give it to so my thing with She-Hulk, like from the very first second I watched it, even before we did that show, was okay. I just watched the first episode and it was all flashback stuff. I don't know what the show looks like. Like, I need a second episode to see what the show will look like. This at
This
least ended at
establishes tone.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say like even beyond that, like the last like 10 minutes or so is what the show is gonna look like.
Right, it's establishing a situation and a setting and a
Mhm.
and a and a bad guy and a little bit of character motivation.
Yeah, because the end of She-Hulk is just LOL. Bye.
Yeah, no, you're
Like
right.
you
And
don't
then the
really
next
get to see
episode
like
feels
any of
like a
the
second
courtroom
pilot.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. Because the second episode basically was the pilot. Yeah.
Yeah. This doesn't feel like a mess yet,
Mm.
like that did, which again is faint praise, but
Well,
I don't know.
especially because like I was told going into it that the first episode was a mess, and like yeah, like there's a ton of the Hawkeye footage spliced in, but none of it took me out enough that it was that big of an issue.
My big reservation with this so
Maybe it's
far,
lazy, but
yeah, my big reservation with this so far is just length. Is just why
yeah.
isn't why isn't this a series? Why isn't it a movie?
Mm.
Just make it, and you can release it on Disney Plus, but like, is this gonna be uh like structurally and time wise? Is it gonna make sense that it's a series that it's in, especially when it all dropped at once?
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, if it's good, whatever.
Mhm.
It's just a little odd. You'd almost want to edit it all together as a movie.
Well,
Because
Marvel's so like against doing the TV movie thing, and I think they kind of need to get over that
get
and be
over it.
willing to
Well,
do
they've
that.
done
Yeah.
specials. Like,
Mhm.
why are they against doing movies when they've done a couple of short specials that were almost feature length?
Mhm. And people really like both specials. I didn't, but
Yeah, but I like the Christmas
yeah,
one.
yeah. Well, I just mean like a lot of people really like Werewolf by Night, and
Right.
that's
No, I'm just
yeah,
saying, like, I don't know. I liked one of them, and like, yeah, it's
yeah.
gone, and he's gone now. But and Werewolf by Night, I haven't watched since we talked over it, so I don't feel like
And I
I
have,
could really
and
fairly judge it, but I wasn't real into it, and I thought it looked kind of cheap.
no, the weirdest thing about Werewolf by Night is it feels like just like a midpoint episode of a Elsa Bloodstone TV show.
You remember when I don't know what that means.
Well, that's like the Irish Jessica Jones character in that. She's
Oh,
basically
oh,
the
I
main
got you. I
character
got
of
you.
it. Like she's the only one that has like a plot.
Omari Daniels, how long was Werewolf by Night? I think it was like, what, an hour, 15, hour 20, or...
I think it's less. I think it's like 50 something minutes.
Oh, so about the same as Guardians.
I think it's about the same as that. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Let me read the super chat from Teddy real quick,
Yep.
and then we'll watch the second episode. Teddy, $10 super chat. I think the reason they released them all at once is because they really need to show. They really need to see how people will react to this to see where they'll go with future R-rated or TVMA stuff. Yeah, it screams, like Austin said earlier, we don't really trust this. We don't know if anybody's going to care.
Yeah. I guess I can kind of see that. You're almost like sacrificing it just to see how people react.
Yeah, well, and I wonder how much of that is related to like the fact that they're in the middle of overhauling Daredevil, where it's like we want to see the response to this whole thing at large because we're still in the middle of building this new show, and this will help us gauge what people are really looking for with that, or if they like the direction we're going with Kingpin. Like, I wonder if some of it has to do with even just plot points by the end of the show.
That makes me like even more scared if that's the case. That's what they're doing with Daredevil. Just like I will see how people react to this show and then judge our story by that.
That we're half in the middle of making.
I would hope that that's not what they're doing, but I wouldn't be shocked at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you could also be a little bit more glass half full about it, I guess, and say, well, they decided to only make 5 episodes. Maybe when they started, it was going to be more, and they truncated it, like they condensed it while they were making it. Who knows? But like, maybe that was the decision that was made not recently, but quite a while back, where it's like, well, we only have 5. Well, let's just drop it all at once. Where they're looking at it kind of like I am now and going, yeah, it's basically a movie. But I don't know, like, this is the shortest episode wise of these so far, I think, right? Like, we've had 6s, but I don't think we've had one less than that.
Yeah, this is the shortest.
Did She-Hulk have, because it was Secret Invasion that had 6, right? And She-Hulk had what, 8 or 9?
Yeah, I think it had 8 or 9. Hawkeye was 6. I think Loki was 6.
And I haven't watched Loki season 2 yet. I thought about doing one of these for that show, for that second season, but I kind of want to rewatch 1 because it's been a while. And
I almost watched it just for Short Round when the actor strike ended, and he released his like "I'm so happy to be in Loki" video. I was like, oh man, I just love this guy. Like,
you want to support that guy?
Yeah. Oh, he was just announced in something. I can't remember what it was, but I was so excited. I wish I remembered.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it was something stupid and he's too good for it. And you're like, God, why do you have to be in that?
No, it was something where I was like, oh man. But now I can't remember what it was, but I was really excited when I heard about it.
Well, let's go ahead and watch the second episode. That's probably all we're going to do tonight. And then kind of like with What If, I don't know if I'm going to come back and do more of these yet. I haven't decided with What If yet either. Like if I've got an extra night some night, I might come back and watch a few more of those. I'm playing everything by kind of the seat of my pants right now, folks. Got a new baby in the house and just streaming when I can. So thanks for your patience with the kind of haphazard content. But you know what? I've really been enjoying, just jumping on when I can. Austin, before we started broadcasting tonight, said I'm like Joker from the Dark Knight. I'm just a dog chasing cars. I'm like, you know what? I kind of like that. There's a part of me that
you're just a dog chasing echoes, which is even better.
That is better. I just because you can't even catch an echo. Like there's no chance at that. It's an echo.
While you were saying that, I looked at because I was like, I know I saved this in my phone somewhere. I found it. The fight coordinator from John Wick is making his directorial debut, and he's the main star of that. That's
cool.
So I was like, obviously, like we don't know what that's gonna be, but like that's possibly cool.
Speaking of that, I should do this for the Continental too, but I never remember that is even already out. Until it comes out up on a stream, and then I get off stream and I immediately forget to go watch that. I was so excited for that show. I've still not heard one thing about it. I don't know anybody that's seen it. I haven't heard about reviews. I've not seen a trailer. I get nothing.
No, and every time you mention them, like, okay, someone in the chat's gonna be like, "I watched it," and then it doesn't happen.
I still haven't seen anybody say that. Yeah. And like we have 17 viewers right now. And I don't know that anybody is going to come in and be like, "Oh yeah, I saw the Continental." Because last time this came up, nobody said anything.
Yeah, no, exactly.
All right, episode 2 of Echo, and then we're going to call it a night tonight, guys, I think. Here we go. Get to timestamp 0, get ready to press play, and we're going to jump right into it. Everybody, please press play. Pardon me. Right now.
Short Round was also, if you don't know, Cap, a either choreographer or a fight coordinator on the first X-Men.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there's like set photos of him like helping the actors for the staging of the Wolverine versus Mystique fight.
Previously on
Hawkeye. I mean Echo. That's what it should have been. Previously on Hawkeye and somewhat Echo.
I will say though, it's kind of fun. Yeah, that's what. And you know, a couple years ago they would have done that. They would have given you like both logos so that you knew where the footage was coming from. But now it's in vogue to just say previously on and not even say where they came from. I think that's so weird.
It is, yeah.
Okay, great. Actually, the start of the Continental, but says he quit halfway through the first episode.
Oh,
no.
I was gonna say he popped in just to say it's 3 episodes. but then after...
No, I'm aware it's only 3 episodes, but I just keep forgetting to watch it.
No, I know. It was just funny though. Like the only reaction we get is just it's only 3 episodes. But then he continued.
Still, nobody's seen it.
But I know every episode in that is like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I think like it's like the Sherlock thing. There's the JPEG again.
I guess it's kind of cool that we got. Yeah, it's like, I mean, you know, like I've got DJ. He could do that. I guess it's kind of cool that we get, even though we had to cheat and use Hawkeye footage, that we get, you know, the beginning and the end of their relationship, like in the same episode.
Yeah. Very true.
You think every episode will open with this, like, Native American lore stuff?
Probably.
That's cool.
I don't know why I saw those guys on a boat in the first...
Oh, we've gone all the way back to 1200 AD.
Alabama.
Is this... That's awesome! No, that's pretty great.
Might be a lot of Eternals.
Is this the earliest we've ever gone in MCU? Or did Eternals go even farther back?
Eternals goes back to, like, Babylon and stuff like that, and, like, the beginning of human race.
Which was a novelty then, because we'd never gone back all that far in MCU.
They should have just set the entire movie back then.
I have not seen that since the theater.
Oh no, I didn't realize that. I think I've seen that like 3 or 4 times.
That's another movie I kind of just forget to go back to. Well, you know what the problem is? And I don't mean to constantly complain about how little time I have, but when you've got 6 kids, watching anything longer than 2 hours is really difficult. Like, you got to break everything up.
That's a movie that I have a different reaction to every time I see it. Where it's like, how much I like it depends on the viewing.
Interesting.
It's really weird.
Because I liked it in the theater.
And I was like, the first time, and then the second time I liked it more. And then the third time I was like, nah, this has a lot of issues.
It's got some really weird plot holes.
Yeah,
I remember that about it. I remember there being something about the, like, artificial intelligence thing that just didn't make any sense, but it's been too long.
There's a lot of just, like, weird counterintuitive choices that they make. And part of it is I've read the Game and Run, and some of that would fix some of their weird choices.
When does the Predator show up?
Cap, that's racist. When is Kurt Russell gonna show up? And it's just a Bone Tomahawk prequel.
Hey, it's a really long time ago as Native Americans. Why is that racist?
Well, it's racist to say you want to see the Predators hunt down these people.
Oh, that's not what I said. I said I'm being
That's
reminded of a thing. I'm just, you know what? I'm digging a hole so far, I'm gonna get canceled in the middle of the stream.
Cap just said he doesn't believe black people should have rights.
That's what you got out of that?
That's what I got out of that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go full Mike Myers and Kanye West.
Look, Austin, some of my closest friends are predators, okay?
I didn't realize you were that close to Kevin Spacey. Oh no, we're probably gonna get killed for that.
I think Kevin Spacey's probably one of those things you can't say without getting demonetized in a YouTube video.
I think Kevin Spacey's one of those things you can't say without being suicidal.
Dude, I'm liking all the quick cuts in the sequence.
That's not bad.
Again, some real effort here. Like, this is a good editing job.
It's maybe going on a little long in that we don't really know.
Well, we don't know why we're looking at
relevance
this
yet, but it is fine.
I'm open to it.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, if we get to a point and it's like there's the possibility of going like, this didn't serve anything.
Yeah, and I hope not.
So long.
It's feeling a little Black Panther inspired to me, where it's like, let's have a long ritual that might kind of inform this culture.
Yeah, except what I've always wanted from Black Panther, which is actually, delving into their culture and showing some of the history of it.
Yeah. Yep, this is actually doing that.
That was a really awkward green screen shot.
Yeah. And that guy's face was great. Where he's like,
Oh, she's pissed.
You think that's a direct ancestor of Echo?
Yeah.
So, somebody... Oh, we didn't actually get an intro before, did we?
I don't think so. This song is really bad, though. Believe it coming on like a fever.
Yeah.
Oh, Cody Lightning's a good name.
That is a cool name.
Yeah, that's a cool name.
Yeah, this singer is going a little too hardcore with the breathing into the microphone.
This intro's like a really bad Bond intro.
And not in like a cool Coheed and Cambria way either.
And not in like a cool Cody Lightning way.
I'm going to assume that everything we're looking at here in this intro is just what was in the... Maybe it's not what was in the closing credits. I'm actually not sure. Because I just skimmed through them. But some of these images are look kind of like that. I like the big Kingpin head. That's cool.
That was cool. Also, because the MCU's had this for a while, like they do the end credits thing. They need to normalize doing intro credits before, like instead of that. I prefer them over the weird just 2 credits that play at the end. They do a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on the Bond thing too. That also feels like kind of a mediocre Bond song.
Yeah, watch it turn out that Cody Lightning is the singer.
Oh, we apologize, Cody Lightning. Although Cody is usually a man's name.
You never know.
You don't. It's true. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen in Oklahoma. That's what I know.
Or Alabama. In 1200 AD.
I love Alabama. They should have just made Sweet Home Alabama her show theme.
She's not even from Alabama.
But her people are, Cap.
No, they should have made it Oklahoma, where the...
Oklahoma is the place to be.
That's not how... Oh, wait, I need to read these subtitles because we have deaf people talking. Nicholas Bodo, is this better than the AI credits from Secret Invasion?
Yes.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that because I was going to say, at least it's not bad.
This is like the worst show opening of all time.
It may be. It's certainly the laziest.
Well, it was just like gross to look at.
My wife can't see the sign for a pawn shop without calling it a spawn shop.
I think we're gonna mention like a disability and things she's able to witness.
No.
Like she can't see the color greens. She watched the Secret Invasion intro and she was like, "This looks even worse."
That was really funny. Did you catch that?
No, I missed that.
He was chanting, and his chant was "Buy the damn thing, buy the damn thing."
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And they just freaked him out when he went, "Oh!"
I have also been these white people in the store many a times.
The supporting family characters here are reminding me certainly a little bit of the Miss Marvel family, but I think hopefully they're carving out their own okay.
Yeah, and since I haven't seen that, it'll probably look a little bit more fresh to me, I guess. Unless it's just the I almost said the Black Panther family, the Blue Beetle family.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that too. Where you have to have at least one of these characters that's real eccentric and just kind of over the top. The problem with Blue Beetle is
which
they were
feels
all
very much
that
like
way.
Which feels very much like a Disney animated thing. Like that's like a joke you'd get in like Lilo and Stitch or something. Like just like that kind of era.
Well, I felt like Blue Beetle leaned too much into racial stereotypes while patting itself on the back for being, like showing you a family you don't always see with superhero stuff. Where it's like
maybe
at the same time you're like
have that thing where it's like just the one because it's just what's his face, the uncle.
I just thought it was weird that he named his truck Taco. Like that's all you can come up with? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a Mexican guy, so his truck is named Taco.
He's taking it back.
Look at us. We're
oppressors like you.
We're in. Okay. I'm uncomfortable talking about any of this.
You heard it.
Look how much we're embracing other cultures. My truck's name is Taco.
Cap feels uncomfortable to talk about tacos.
No, I love tacos.
Why is he driving on the wrong side of the road?
And why does everyone these days have playing card tattoos?
Not on the wrong side of the road, like his wheels on the wrong side, I mean.
He got his car from England, and he drives it in Oklahoma. No, I'm with you, that's weird.
I mean, I know you can get cars like that, like, imported in, but, like...
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one, like, in the States.
Yeah. Maybe it's just Oklahoma.
Well, it's really weird when you get in Oklahoma, you gotta start driving on the other side of the road.
It's really awkward when there's that like transition period.
Now, I will say a lot of this would be cut down if it was a movie.
Yes.
So that first episode I felt like was a lot more movie pacing. Now it's a TV show.
Well, probably because they just had so much to cover and lots of stock footage.
We have way too much stock footage.
What is this, a late show era Godzilla movie?
Well, that's a question did they, I'm trying not to make a comment about that.
But did they plan it, or, like...
What I was going to say is...
Did they realize in editing they needed more...
Did they have any stuff they shot for her, flashback or otherwise, in Hawkeye they didn't use? And then that becomes part of this show?
Maybe.
Just a question.
Yeah, what if most of that episode was shot from Hawkeye, like, whether we realize it or not?
I don't know, because a lot of that action felt like it was throwing back to Netflix Daredevil so hard it couldn't have been. But then that show actually has some of that kind of action though. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's just been a while. Anyway,
Yeah,
I don't know
no,
what the
it's
scene's
fair.
about because we're talking over it.
Well, I think they're in like some sort of roller rink.
Oh, okay, okay.
There's
Where, where
snacks
they're
behind her.
where they're making America skate again or whatever.
Yeah, there's probably kids falling over and Cap falling over.
I'm not there.
For yeah, for all you know. I like this dog.
The dog that has the name that Biscuit should have.
Wait, what? You mean the dog that should be named Biscuit?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They should have their names flipped because his name sounds like it was like
I
it was
know,
like
but you like flipped it when you said
yeah,
it. So
that's
you're like,
what I said because
the
it was like
dog has,
Jack something. Sorry, what?
because you're like the dog has the name that Biscuit should have, which means that Echo should have the dog's name.
No, no, that anyway. I don't even understand what you're talking about.
You like said it flipped.
I don't think I did. Teddy says the entire show is just deleted scenes from Hawkeye.
I mean, you can tell that they cut a lot of stuff with her in Hawkeye, so watch it turn out even that Daredevil fight was from Hawkeye.
So it's unfortunate that we can't do anything new and creative with people looking at their phones anymore. Because a few years ago, the first time I saw, and I can't remember what show it was in. I can't remember if it was House of Cards or something else. But like the first show where I saw like somebody texting
little,
on their
like, text
phone,
blurbs.
and then the text comes up next to their head. I'm like, oh, that's really inventive. Like that's a really and a just economical way to do that. And like, of course, that's the standard way we do that now.
I'm so sick of looking at it.
Yeah, there's not really, and we'll tell too much of the story that way now.
Oh god, this is so dark.
Yeah, I can't even look at it. I think it's dark so that we can't see how not great the CG is there.
Well, okay, can I just complain in general about how this is just how we film night scenes now? Like, so many things have this issue. And it's like, come on, like you're making a fake thing. Like you can have it be unnatural lighting, it's fine.
And you don't even have the old like gritty thing of some like camera grain to make it feel more real.
Yeah.
Because if it at least had that, it would sort of be okay that it was as dark as it was, but it feels fake. Teddy, to be fair, there's not really any better way to do the text thing. No, you're right. I'm just saying that like it's kind of unfortunate that text has become the main way people communicate so much now that it has to permeate in TV and movies, and so it's hard to be creative with it anymore.
I think it's not, oh, we should find a different way to do texting. It's just,
I just miss when it was
other
new.
ways. There's just other ways you can get information out, and when
Yes.
everything's doing the text thing, it's like I think it gets a little annoying.
But there's a catch-22 with it where it's like, yeah, but that's how she would get that information right then.
Yeah, no, and certain things make sense. Like
They're like showing the map on the screen where they did. I have no problem with that. Like,
yeah, you also could have done some sort of like mission briefing thing, like scene instead. But I don't know. Either way, the night shooting is way worse than anything with the text.
has it occurred to you that Echo is vaguely kind of like Marvel's Cassandra Cain?
In what way?
Well, she is
Oh, because she's like
taught to be a
can't speak, and
killer.
she's like an
She's
assassin.
raised by a criminal mastermind guy, and she doesn't talk.
I do wonder.
She doesn't talk for a different reason. That's why I say vaguely. And I don't know how much she's actually like inspired by Cassandra Cain, but that's a thought I had today when I was thinking about this character. I was like, with what little I know about her, I was like, oh, she's kind of Cassandra Cain again, sort of.
Yeah, that's interesting. I do wonder if they'll give like an explanation for the Echo name, because Echo is obviously her name because she echoes fighting styles, and we're not going with that.
Oh yeah, that's weird. Yeah, so like, what does her name even mean in this context? Like,
I do wonder if we'll have some sort of explanation for that, but I also don't necessarily need one. It's just kind of weird.
it is a little weird, but it would be cool if they reinvented it in some cool way. They could also do it in some annoying, overly cute way. But like that was a thing that I actually liked in Black Panther 2, where they reinvented the reason that what's his name is named what it is. Why can't
Namor?
Namor, thank you. Yeah, the whole Namor thing. Like, I went into that movie going, I don't like that they're doing that, and I walked out going, that was one of the cooler things about it, actually.
Though I have many questions about Namorita and why she also has his name.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But with what they do with Namor, it's fine. It's just weird that his like the person closest to him.
It was also
has
nice that
name.
in reinventing that, they also still went full tilt and had the wings on the legs.
Yeah.
And everything. I didn't expect it to be as comic booky as it was.
Oh, interesting. I never assumed we would take away the wings. I'm surprised we went straight with just green Speedos, though. I mean, at least you're only losing your bad leg.
Teddy, why am I being disrespectful by saying criminal mastermind guy? I'm just saying that, like, both Kingpin and Kane are criminal masterminds.
Because they have a name, and their name is Anakin.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Echoes of her ancestors. Okay, I can
yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
So she has powers that come from that. Is that the point of all the flashbacks with it? Oh, she's got glowing hands now.
She's the Iron Fist.
Yeah, that's very Iron Fisty.
Enemy of the Hand and sworn protector of Kunlun.
But yeah, I was just describing two characters. And again,
you just wish this character was more like the Birds of Prey Cassandra Cain.
No, I don't. No, I would much take exactly this character in that movie as Cassandra Cain. That'd be fine.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that.
And this actress
just
too.
This actress, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I agree with that.
I'm liking her. I am finally seeing what somebody saw in her when they cast her.
Can that slow or stop a train? Oh no, I guess she's just trying to get like a signal out, maybe.
Also, I didn't expect this action scene to go on as long as it is. And like, some of this doesn't look great, but it's more ambitious than I might have expected.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know,
I
like,
could see.
It's kind of exciting. No, I'm with you. And that makes it feel more CW, right? Like, this feels like an Arrow scene.
Well, it's just like there's been so many movies like the last I don't know, a couple of years that just shoot like this.
You're saying this isn't even a TV thing?
It's not even a TV thing. Oh my god, it's the shot from Ragnarok with what's his face? Carl Urban. Oh no, it's with Thor. I'm mixing up two shots.
Oh yes, Carl Urban, my favorite version of Thor.
No, because he's Scourge in that. I was thinking of the one where he jumps down the machine guns, but it's not that shot. It's when Thor jumps down.
Oh look, everybody, she's okay.
That means it's okay for her to break the law.
No, see, your name should be Billy Jack, not Biscuit.
Echo's name should be Billy Jack.
No, I'm saying his name should be Billy Jack.
Billy Jack is home.
He definitely came from Alabama. There's no way around that.
It's Billy Jabbo.
The show has a better sense of continuity than a lot of Disney Plus Marvel shows. Like we just had a scene with a big action on a train, and then we cut to a train. Like, good job. I can follow the show.
Gotta love the big praise. Oh my god, it's the D9X program.
What's that?
It's this.
Oh, what is it? What does it do? Whatever it is, it's gonna be horrifying. Ah!
Well, it just explodes.
Oh, okay.
That's why they had to make Weapon X, because the D9X program failed. It exploded.
Oh, see, I thought it was gonna be the technical name for the Feige robot.
Oh, I wish.
The Feige
This guy's
robot
not
is in
dead.
that box.
They're literally in the explosion.
That's what came from that other dimension. Teddy says breaking the law is okay if you have a cool nickname.
My D9X exploded. That means it's okay for me to break the law. Even though I was breaking it in the first place.
In the first place.
Exploded.
You know, that explosion looked better than that whole train sequence we couldn't see.
That's because we could see it.
Yeah, but I'm used to... Oh man, Fisk is everywhere. He's even got a shipping place.
Yeah, that was the
In the
one
middle of
place they were
Oklahoma.
looking at in the first episode.
Okay.
But I was like, oh, we're seeing his reach outside. 'Cause
That's cool.
Echo was like, we gotta stop it.
We gotta stop his shipping.
Oh
What's
my
he
God,
shipping?
Dan Harmon is here.
And when the pressure reaches us... That guy's just here to tell us about technical things that are very dangerous, just like the water guy from Batman Begins. And when the pressure reaches us...
Well, I was gonna say that's why he's wearing glasses, but then it cut back to him and he wasn't wearing glasses.
Oh man, what was that I said earlier about continuity? Oops.
Yeah. No, that's not me. That's me being dumb.
Oh, okay. Buy the damn thing. You know, I actually came into this not knowing if she was going to be more of like an anti-hero kind of character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely had some of that. I figured she was going to be kind of Punisher-y.
Yeah, I thought she was going to be kind of more of an assassin. And like I said, it is much more of a kind of Cassandra Cain direction where she's trying to go against all of that.
No, that's cool, because we could have very easily just been... She's just running around killing all of Kingpin's men.
Well,
Which I'm sure she will be doing killing, but you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
kinda...
like, and I'm fine with her killing, but...
Yeah, same.
But I like that hardline first episode. You can tell for sure whether this is going to be a hero or an anti-hero kind of character. You know.
Oh, this guy's T-shirt is awesome, by the way. I just noticed it. It's the Abbey Road thing, but the natives instead of the Beatles.
Oh, okay.
But it's like the Abbey Road album cover.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Is that ableist? I don't know. Teddy, $9.99 super chat. What if this show ends with
Oh
Echo?
God, it's 24.
Or Ang Lee's Hulk? What if this show ends with Echo about to kill Fisk, then She-Hulk coming out and ending it saying, no, this is too dark, and then it cuts to black?
I would love that. And then it cuts to just a 5-minute sequence of Deadpool talking to She-Hulk about what a better ending would be. That sounds like exactly my type of humor.
It does kind of feel like, and I'm not saying I necessarily want this, Austin, but it does kind of feel like with the street level characters we've developed now with the Disney Plus side of things, you'd think we'd be building to maybe like Defenders again or something like Defenders.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm imagining like her and Daredevil and like Kate Kane all on a team. Or not Kate Kane, whatever her last name is.
What? Kate Bishop?
Kate Bishop, yeah.
Well, it sounds like it's just that's what the Spider-Man movie's gonna be, because I think all those characters are being talked about as being in it.
Okay, see, I hadn't heard any of that until you mentioned that this afternoon, that the rumor is they're going to do a big Kingpin movie.
But I mean, also, who knows, like, if that's true
Yeah.
or not. They don't even have a director, as far as we know.
Well, that doesn't stop them from deciding the entire story before they have somebody in charge.
That is true.
Oh, Teddy, thanks again for the super chat if I didn't say that. But yeah, the glowing symbols and all of that, giving her powers, like, that's really reminding me of Smallville.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the power thing. I also feel like they maybe made it like kind of more generic, but I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know how I feel about it either. It's a little too Miss Marvel-y. Because it seems like if they're going to change powers now, they have some kind of mystical artifact or something that's related to the culture of, whatever character we're dealing with. So, like, Miss Marvel has to have like an artifact from India that turns out to be from space.
We just don't want them to get into like a formula with that.
Yeah, and two does not a pattern make, but it feels like it could get to that place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then you could also say like the 10 rings thing.
The 10 rings thing.
Kind of also feels like that. With Shang-Chi.
Mm-hmm. The 10 rings is like so cynical in that we had to give Shang-Chi powers so we could be an Avenger.
Yeah, and having rings on fingers isn't cinematic enough.
Yeah, because it's too close to Thanos.
No, I hate everything about that. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That is what that is. By the way, somebody earlier asked us what our favorite Marvel villain is overall. And they didn't say MCU, they just said Marvel. So, I mean, you can go to comic. Mine's always been Galactus.
Ooh, what is my favorite just Marvel villain? Because it's so easy for me to break it down by, like, time period or character. But just, like, overall, what would my favorite Marvel villain be? I guess say Dormammu.
He's finally selling his PS4, Austin.
Oh, that's great.
And he's telling people about it on, what, a CB radio? I don't know what's going on here. It's like, yeah, that was Facebook Marketplace 40 years ago, maybe, sure.
I mean, one day, I don't know why, he bought a PS5 with no games to buy. So, he's got to sell it.
What do you think, Austin? He said $125. Is that a good deal right now?
For a PS4? I don't know. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy that for $1.
Well, you have a PS5.
No, I don't.
Oh, no, you don't. You have a...
I do have a PS4.
Yeah, you have an Xbox, right?
Yeah.
This guy's old too comic reliefy, and we're doing that thing where at least a couple of her family members have to be, but the older guy with the shop is the better comic relief of the two.
Yes. I also don't find this guy like super obnoxious. At least yet. Like he's definitely more in that vein.
No, but we are feeling kind of stereotypes
the
or
quota.
Yeah.
But like I will take this guy over like Aquafina and Shang-Chi.
Or Darcy or...
Yeah.
And the performances are good.
Yeah, everybody's doing a good job.
I feel like everybody is holding their own and keeping me, interested enough in the scene.
Yeah, because I'd say with this guy, I'm more just indifferent. I like the grandpa so far.
Oh no, Dan Schneider says us mofos are freezing. Apologies from the mofos. That happens sometimes when I'm streaming video. While I'm streaming video.
The mofos were freezing today.
Nicholas Bodo, what are some good Galactus stories, Cap? I go back to the original Galactus trilogy, of course, and my favorite is the one drawn by Mobius, which is Silver Surfer Parable.
And Cap's also a big fan of Ultimate Galactus.
Yeah, not so much. Galactus, the hyphens. The Galactus Lifebringer arc in Ultimate Squared is pretty cool. I never knew how to feel about the whole Orange Galactus thing, but they sold me on it okay in the execution.
Very cool. I feel like, because I've read so little Fantastic Four, I haven't read a lot of the good Galactus stuff.
And I admittedly
I
haven't
like
read
him
as
in
much as I
Secret
should,
Wars.
but... I also feel like they're doing a really good job, Austin, blending scenes like this with all sign language, with enough spoken dialogue.
Yeah. I'm also just glad that we've hit a place where we're not afraid of doing stuff like this. Like, I feel like the new Apes trilogy is a big part of that, of just making like a big mainstream blockbuster where a lot of the dialogue is sign language.
Well, and this is a really important dramatic scene.
Mm-hmm.
Where she seems to have like nearly an opportunity for change here, and it's all through sign language.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like, you're getting us to this place of chaos. Don't forget where you came from. Don't forget who you care about. Like, this is an important scene.
Yeah, no, if this were made in the 2000s, they would just have like characters talk at her. And she would just be able to understand. One of her powers would she'd be able to feel the vibrations of speaking, like the deaf character from Eternals.
Okay, I haven't been able to pay enough attention to this. There must have been some kind of significance to the playground, because we're focusing on that really hard. Oh no, wait, are we showing it now? Is it just the flashbacks that we're looking? I don't know what the significance is of that. Also, does she have like flashes of memory from
Oh, it's already over.
ancestors and stuff? Yeah, it's already over. Or was that just for our benefit, I wonder?
I assume it's just for our benefit.
And I assume we were foreshadowing with the Western chick, because we haven't seen any of that yet.
Oh yeah, we didn't do the next time on, but also the first thing in the next time on wasn't in that episode.
No, they're doing the Paramount Plus thing, I think, where it's like
the whole season.
For the whole season, yeah.
You know what it says on my Disney Plus right now, Cab?
What's that?
Next episode, episode 3. Watch the new episode now.
Yeah, you don't even know what it's called.
I don't even know if there's gonna be a powwow.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and stop tonight because I need to go to bed. But if I felt like I had more time, I would go ahead and do the next one. Because I am interested enough to keep going. I will say that. But also, we're talking enough. I don't fully know everything that's happening. So
yeah, I might go back.
I definitely want to watch this on its own, because
it's the first 2 episodes again, and then watch the whole thing through.
Yeah. So I don't know if we'll come back and do more of this blind this way. Honestly, Austin, if we watch it on our own and we're into it enough, even if we ultimately don't really care for it, maybe we'll go ahead and review it. I don't know. I don't know what we'll do with this down the road, but
yeah.
But I'm intrigued.
Maybe something, maybe nothing.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. It's all right.
Yeah.
I'm curious about it. I definitely care more about it than I thought I would. So I mean, that's exciting. It's kind of cool they just made a little miniseries.
Yeah, and I'm glad it's not kind of what I expected by what they were advertising of just, hey, Daredevil's coming. Here's Kingpin and Daredevil, but you're not going to get them in a full show until later.
Nothing in that second episode is really the street level New York stuff.
No, I mean, we were dealing with that stuff, which is fine, because that's what I want this to be. Like, I don't want this to be Moon Knight where it just isn't street level.
Yeah. And it's got mystical
it's
stuff.
doing their thing.
Honestly, so far, it kind of feels like Iron Fist done a little better.
I guess.
Maybe.
Only just because she has Iron Fist powers in that one part. That's really the only thing, but...
No. I'm saying that because it's both street level and mystical.
Oh, okay. Although one thing that this does have
It
in
has
common,
more to do with Iron Fist than you're saying it does.
that's what I was about to say. One
Yeah.
thing we know that this has in common because of the trailer is that one person will die because of ice cream. So,
Oh yeah. I thought that was going to be in the pilot.
so did I until I was looking through the episodes and it was like the thumbnail for like 4, and I was like, oh,
Oh, weird.
weird.
And that's odd because we haven't had any more flashbacks to their relationship yet, and we didn't get anything with him this episode really.
Hmm. I guess we'll just see more of that later when he comes in.
Well, and I think the best compliment I can pay it so far, again, admittedly, we were talking over while we were looking at it, is that at first I was kind of worried they sold it really hard on Daredevil and Kingpin, and then we wouldn't see them very much. The second episode, they're not there at all, and I was fine with that.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, I don't really care if Kingpin. I'm sorry, if Daredevil comes back. Obviously, Kingpin will have to because that's what they're setting up.
Yeah,
But
and because they have that relationship, and
yeah, exactly.
he kind of molded her.
Although it still didn't explain to me how Daredevil and Echo can communicate. I've still seen no evidence of how they're gonna do that.
Oh yeah, good call. Well, maybe he just reads sign language for some reason, but she's not signing to him.
Well, he wouldn't be able to see it.
Yeah, he has a. I, I'm not even thinking. I'm tired. No, his powers somehow let him like see sign
He can
language.
hear sign
He
language.
can hear sign language.
What does sign language smell like?
How does
Only
that work?
Daredevil can tell us.
Yeah, and she's not speaking out loud. Yeah.
No, because she wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, different deaf people are able to do that to different
Yeah, well, I guess
degrees of
is
success.
she deaf from the start, or is it supposed to be that she was deaf from that car crash?
I thought it was that. I thought it was supposed to be like a mirror for Daredevil, but I wasn't totally sure.
I can't remember now.
But you're
such an
right.
old man.
If she's deaf from birth, then there's probably no way you're talking and anybody can understand what you're saying because you wouldn't be able to like tell what your vocal cords were doing. But if you have a past of speaking and hearing it, you can kind of approximate it, and people might be able to understand what you're saying. Because there's a lot of deaf people that do that.
Yeah, because there is that part in Eternals where the deaf character in that screams, and it's like a very just like kind of off sounding scream, and it's because she's deaf. Never have heard that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah, I've only seen that the one time, or maybe I saw it twice in the theater. I can't remember, but I haven't seen it since the theater, so I completely forgot about that.
When she's like everyone's favorite character in that, the like speedster in it.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Yeah, she doesn't get like much to do, but everybody liked that character.
I forgot she screamed. That's a nice touch though that they try to make it sound like a deaf person screaming.
Yeah, because when I heard it, I was like, well, and that actress is also deaf, so it could just be like true to that. But the first time in the theater, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like they actually thought about that, and then I learned she was actually deaf.
Well, Austin, I didn't expect to end this saying I'm gonna watch the rest of this, but I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, ended up way better than our stream on What If, where it was like, I'll come back if you need me to.
Good performances. Everybody showed up.
Yeah, no, I like that main actress quite a bit.
Yeah.
She's really good so far.
That's the most exciting thing about it is like I saw her in Hawkeye and I went, who cares?
Everyone will watch this cap and be like, this character sucks, and it'll be us with America Chavez all over again.
Yeah, because we loved her and nobody else seemed to.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's great, and I don't like her in the comics. She's great.
Get out of here, people.
What if the Agatha show is like this? What if we come into that and we're like, oh, okay, she can really hold her own and like run her own show.
I mean, I hope so. Well, and the main witch from Man Thing is in that show, so that's also part of why I want to watch it. But their casting tells me that it's going to be a name only.
Oh, okay. I have no such investment. I have
I know, but
no reason whatsoever to watch that show.
I know I'm mostly intrigued for that just because it's the people who made WandaVision, and I'm intrigued because that's like their best show.
Yeah.
It's also got issues, but I don't know, maybe it'll work out.
No, it is their best show. I think Hawkeye gets close.
No, it's the big thing that holds Hawkeye from being the best show is the Kingpin stuff. It's
Yep.
just really awkward.
Nope, that's right. And I didn't finish Miss Marvel, but I liked the 4 episodes I saw. Okay. This show seems on par with Miss Marvel for me so far.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
I
that's
think
not super low praise. That show was pretty good.
that's the only show I think I've seen nothing of.
Yeah, I don't think you watched any of that.
Because I think that's like right after. Is that after She-Hulk? Because I think it was like Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and both of those I sampled, and I was like, okay, I'm done with these.
I thought it was before She-Hulk, but I could be wrong.
Be wrong.
I might be wrong about that. Again, have not been super invested.
I'm racist and didn't know it.
Say it again.
So I'm proving I'm actually just racist and didn't know it.
What? How does not knowing the order they came out make you racist?
Because I was like, oh, I didn't like these 2 shows, therefore I didn't watch this one. But if it came out before, then I'm just racist.
Man Joe says America Chavez was a walking plot device that screamed in every other scene.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I liked that actress.
But I also liked her. I don't know.
You're not wrong. Like that is her point in the movie.
Yeah, but she was a real likable plot device. I don't know.
She was very charismatic.
Yeah, as far as human MacGuffins go.
I also think that was like that actress's like first role. I know it was for Miss Marvel, but I think that was like one of her first roles.
Yeah.
And she was really good.
I thought she played it with a decent amount of pathos, and I thought she was charming. And
yeah, get out of here, Madman Jones. Unsubscribe.
Unkillable John Killing says it was before She-Hulk.
Rats, I'm a racist. Curses.
Well, anyway,
On that note,
this is, I thought this would probably be like just above She-Hulk and Secret Invasion. No, it's a few rungs above that. It's definitely better than those shows.
yeah, it's better than Moon Knight. It's better than
So far.
What If.
With the 2 episodes we watched.
So far, yeah.
Yeah,
but I
What
also
If.
only watched 2 episodes of Moon Knight, so.
Teddy says his favorite one is Loki. I like the first season of Loki, okay, but I've got, just like a lot of people, big issues with that last episode. It was boring as sin.
Yeah, I really liked that show, and then the last 2 episodes for me were like so bad that it kind of like shook the entire show all
But
together.
if we're just comparing the first 2 episodes of that to this, I can't put this above that yet.
Well, and the big thing with Loki is that's their best looking show.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you can tell they built some cool sets for that.
But I also appreciate that this show seems to understand its resources better than some of the others. Where, like, it's not trying to do too much more than it's capable of. Like, it doesn't have the Falcon and Winter Soldier problem as much. That action scene on the train was not great.
No, but so much of that was just the night shooting, which is just everywhere right now.
Yeah, it makes it look fan filmy.
Mm-hmm.
But at least but at least the writing is better than something like in the acting than something like Secret Invasion. So when Secret Invasion looks fan filmy, but it's also written like a fan film, but like a really boring one where like nobody even knows why they're there. Like
show where nothing happens.
It's a fan film made by people that aren't fans of anything. Is really what I'm saying.
So it's written by the AI that made the intro.
That's exactly right. Daddy, I'm a racist. Curses. It's the best line in Geekvolution history. Curses! I didn't know that about myself.
Somebody should dub that into Batman and Robin, where it's like, I'm a racist. Curses! And the flower closes on Poison Ivy.
There's a new villain in town. His name is the Day Ghost. He's a racist.
Hello, racist. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. All right, we're gonna get going. Thanks for watching, everybody. This ended up being kind of a pleasant surprise, honestly. I'm definitely gonna watch more of it.
No, I'll probably watch the show. It's also really short, so like.
So that's nice. You have the
Yeah.
commitment.
Exactly.
And it doesn't, and it's not a like 3.5 hour show that feels like it's 11 hours like Secret Invasion did.
No, if it were like 13 episodes, I'd maybe be like maybe I'll finish it.
Dude, I do 24-hour Smallville streams, and that felt longer than one of those to me. That's how bad that show was.
No comment.
Well, no, I mean, I know you don't like Smallville, but I mean, like, I was so bored. Anyway,
No comment.
You also haven't sat through a whole season of that either.
Thank God.
All right, we're gonna get going. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody, and we'll see you again with more stuff not too long from now. Here on Geekvolution, I was Captain Logan, and we had Austin the Day Ghost. I thought it was gonna keep going.
No, I was like, is it maybe in poor taste that I'm saying bye by pretending to do sign language?
Oh, I didn't even do sign language. I thought it was just like a crappy Power Ranger morph or something.
I don't know why my sign language was just like